Hey guys, welcome back to Stephen K. De Silva Ministries. This is my Facebook Live, and today we're going to talk about a question that was raised in my recent Prosperous Home class. That's this manual right here. This is the one that talks about really the practical elements of how to create and build momentum in your home based on the Prosperous Soul Foundations. So today I had about 60 students this morning, and we were talking away, and I was teaching about the balance sheet and about net worth and altitude, about how an airplane requires altitude in order to get to a place that it wants to go, an idea of vision, and that a person can judge where they need to be as far as altitude based on their goals. And we were just talking about that. You know, some people need higher goals, farther distances of altitude than others. Some want to fly from one end of the valley to the other, but others want to fly out of the valley and to another place altogether. Just processing that whole idea of altitude. Someone in the class raised her hand. It was a woman, and she asked, what do I do if I've embarked on a project and this project is not working out? My money is drying up. I've gotten a vision. I'm going to fly from here to, theoretically, a degree in School of Ministry was the context. These were my plans, but I'm running out of money. Man, my cash is drying up. Debt is starting to mount. Because I'm a student, I can't earn income and keep up with my spending. So I just don't know what to do. What do you say to that? My answer was, I don't know. No, I'm kidding. No, my answer was, hey, let's talk about this idea in a bigger context. You see, this woman was really feeling guilty about the fact that her savings was drying up and her debt was growing. Well, for sure, that's a problem. That's not a long-term model that a person wants to create. We don't want to engineer a lifestyle that mounts debt and consumes our money. We want to go the other way, right? We want to create the opposite environment. And this woman had embarked on that, had high hopes, but it was going the wrong direction. And she's now stuck. She's like, do I keep going, which means mounting more debt, or do I stop, which means sacrificing my dream of this program? Wow. Well, here's the first thing I would say. Realize that debt is not evil. It's not a sin to use debt. In fact, debt is, whether we like it or not, how much of the world creates wealth around them. Debt is a way to leverage our time and other assets to create and onboard wealth. So as a category, realize debt is not evil. Now what it is a commitment. I like to think about it like a set of handcuffs. If you have a little debt, you have little cufflinks, little reminders that I have promised my time to repay it. If I have more debt, those cufflinks become ropes, or they tie our hands because our strength is tied up and committed to this repayment of the debt. If we have so much debt that it binds us tightly, we can understand ourselves as, like, imagine a neck collar, and this thing controls us. So debt is not evil, but it is a measure of bondage. Not sin bondage, but commitment pledge, right? So a person who is mounting debt is mortgaging or promising their future days. Now let's go back to this woman. She's in a situation where she realizes, yikes, I don't know if I want to create that much debt. I feel guilty about the debt. Well, I would say this. You have engineered a plan that is creating debt. If you perceive the debt as necessary, Understand it like a student loan or an investment loan. You're investing in yourself to gain something. You still will end up with debt at the end, but what I would ask to help you make your decision is the juice worth the squeeze? When you come out of this program, whether it's building an idea, a company, whether it's getting a degree at a university, student loan debt, things like that, whatever it is that's creating this situation in your life, is the juice still worth the squeeze? You need to answer that question based on our assignment in the gospel, right? You see, we are serving a king, and we are not serving ourselves. If we find out that God says, yes, continue, if you have that sense in your heart, then you need to navigate the amount of debt you're going to create and build a plan to get out. Now, if that plan is going to take you 10 more years of hard work, guess what? That is part of this decision we have reached. Yes, with God, I feel He wants me to do this. Well, God doesn't give us just one idea and only part of the answers. We have to package the whole thing and realize my commitment to this assignment feels like it's with God, and it includes the baggage that goes with it. I have to be a realist. I have to be honest with myself and see the package. This woman that I'm speaking about, she said, I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to judge if the juice is worth the squeeze. How do I do that? I said, this is easy. Let's go to the whiteboard. This was after class, and we started illustrating some things. Imagine a little timeline. I said, hey, if we started right here, how much do you have in net worth, altitude? And this person said a number. I don't know, make up a number, $10,000. And I said, by the end of the school year, where do you think you'll be? She said, I think I'm going to be underwater. I think I'm going to be $10,000 negative. Ooh, okay. What do you plan next? The woman said, well, I think I'm going to go to university and become an attorney. Ooh, and how will you do that? I will borrow more. So what we began to do is build a timeline based on facts around her decision, her strategies. And we discovered that she had a plan that was going to take her about 12 years to really bury herself, and then another easily 10 years to unbury herself. 12 plus 10, 22 years. Is this still the thing you think God is asking? Oh, this changed the whole conversation, because she said, I didn't think about it in terms of a whole. I only thought in terms of the next 1 month or 1 week. I go, well, let's just judge that. If that is the strategy you've built, let's take this to the Lord and ask Him for wisdom. Now we're coming down to the actual solution. You see, I believe when we are realistic, when we take the idea that we feel God is calling us to, if we fill it out and describe it well, we can then offer that to the Lord and rely on two things. James chapter 1, which is wisdom, and 2 Timothy chapter 1, which is power, love, and a sound mind. Here's the two addresses, the two verses. James 1, verses 5 and 6, and 2 Timothy 1, verse 7. Now, James chapter 1, in verse 5 and 6 says, if anyone lacks wisdom, let him ask, and God will give it. But don't doubt it once you've asked and received an answer. So you have this reality of, wow, I don't know what to do. We need to ask and trust. That's number one. We need wisdom. The Bible promises God will give it. Then step number 2 is the 2 Timothy 1:7. That says, God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and love and a sound mind. Let's think about this for a minute. You see, sometimes people equate fearful feelings to the Holy Spirit. And that isn't a fullness model. That isn't a gospel model. What that is substituting a thing inside of us that is afraid, trying to put lipstick on the pig and call it something that it is not. God has not given us a spirit of fear. So don't allow fear to be your Holy Spirit input. It's not. Fear is a rotten partner. But what God did give us is power, love, and a sound mind. Okay, let's break these down. Power means you are a force. You have permission and capacity to happen to your life, not let life happen to you. So build out a plan. Use your mind. Use consultants and advisors. Use mentors and build a whole plan. Don't be afraid of that. That isn't lack of faith. Use your faith to create real information. Power. Love. Love is beautiful. It is the right motivation. You see, I believe God has shown me there are 3 motivators in a person's heart: fear, love, and selfish ambition. Those 3 are always vying for our seat of decision making, for our orientation in our life. Fear, love, and selfish ambition. Now, I believe fear and ambition are very loud. They are internal drivers. They create urgency and a perception of need and panic around us. Whereas love is very quiet. It is very patient. It is the thing we need to use as our sitting position for making decisions. Make your choices from a place of love, not fear or selfish ambition. Back to the verse. Fear. God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. Our last one is a sound mind. Think about that. God has given us wisdom and the capacity to think. Let's use that to build out the facts. If you don't know all those facts, go find some guy or gal who's been through it before. Generally, those are older folks. But my point is, find an expert. Get advice. Don't be afraid of that. It isn't lack of faith to go into a program with your eyes wide open. Now, this particular student was caught in midstream, and she is now panicked. So we applied the 2. Let's ask for wisdom, and let's get rid of our partner fear and apply what God has given us instead: power, love, and a sound mind. What we did is illustrate. She navigated and built herself a plan to navigate through. Now, whatever this student decides is up to her, because I'm not her judge, and neither are you. We are accountable to our Father, just like she is. And she is going to navigate a plan. And what I could hear from her is, my plan, my one-eyed plan, took me very deep in debt and then took me years to finally emerge. That block of time was not in the bargaining. So with revision, she built a different plan. Yes, she had to finish the school year, and yes, she would be in debt. But she built herself a way of managing and recovering quicker. And this is the thing. Let's go into our programs, our lives, and happen to it, rather than let it happen to us. Don't go in with your eyes closed and call that faith. That's not. That is presumption. What we can do instead is go in, ask for wisdom, and then literally ask for wisdom. Ask for help and approach our life. Let's happen to our prosperous life rather than have our life happen to us. This is the thought for the day. God bless you guys. Merry Christmas. I hope you have an awesome New Year and 2019. I'll be in touch. Let me know what you're thinking. I want to see it. I'll go in and check it. All right? God bless you guys. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching.
Hey, thanks for watching. I'm Stephen K. De Silva, and you're probably wondering, why have I never heard this information before? Well, now you can by going up into this corner and subscribing to this channel. Or you can go to this corner and watch the next video. There is tons of information I'm giving you. Go check it out and go deeper. Or better yet, go to the link below and go check out my website. I've got some free stuff on there. Go get that and go see lots of resources so you can finally master your money. Hey, I gotta go record another video. I'll see you soon. Bye.